So here's a fun little story for you. I just recorded this entire video only to listen back and realise I was using my computer microphone, not my actual microphone. So here we go, restarting the entire thing. In case you didn't notice, I'm actually quite a small YouTuber, sitting here at a solid 44 subs, a wild month. Truly. But I've had so much fun doing YouTube that I'm not going to complain. In trying to grow my channel, I've done a lot of different things. I've posted about it on social media, I've told my friends about it, and I've even had my mum post about it on social media. Thanks mum and her Facebook groups. And doing all these also includes exploring Reddit. I've never really been one for Reddit, but I can't pretend that I wasn't interested. Two subreddits that really stood out to me were r/YouTubers and r/small YouTube channel. Both of which you can use to get criticism about your channel, videos, and I thought it was overall a pretty good idea. I used it once and I got some pretty handy comments, and I also gave my own criticisms and advice to people. Both these subreddits actually had a Discord, and one of these Discords is where I ran into the topic of conversation today, Avrona. Honestly, I don't know how I began this rabbit hole. I was sort of just clicking people on Discord and looking at their channels and seeing what was there, but I saw a video that really intrigued me while I was looking. Now, in a lot of ways, I'm a lot like everyone else. I like hearing of tales of failure, things that haven't gone well, but I also really like stories of perseverance. Going on YouTube for 6 years with little viewer retention is really interesting to me. Maybe I'm weird in my next sense, but I like to read through comments before I watch the video. And this video wasn't an exception to that. Overall it was pretty positive, but one comment really stuck out to me. I gave you a chance and actually felt some empathy because of Big Joel, but your politics are stupid. You got political, you completely dropped the ball with the help he gave you. Also, we're still hearing the same excuses about the algorithm and that you're not doing anything on your end to hurt your channel. My immediate thoughts were, who's Big Joel? What's happened here? What's this about the algorithm? I decided to do my homework before I carried on watching the video, and I watched all of Joel's video about Avrona, and it was really interesting. I won't explain what happened in the video. If you're curious, you can watch it, the link's down below. But to give a quick summary, he was basically offering up a reasoning behind Avrona's action that I'll discuss shortly, and giving him good and friendly criticism, and talking about his position when he was a smaller YouTuber too. It was really insightful, and Avrona seemed to really benefit from this. He jumped up a lot in subs, going from 100, 200-ish to 600, and to eventually where he sits at now at 1.3k. Everything I've said now seems extremely positive. He had criticism and he listened to it. So, what's the issue? See, there's actually a few issues with Avrona. He's been doing YouTube since 2013, which in itself is very, very insane to me. It's a ridiculously long time to be doing YouTube from 2013, which is just about the 6-year mark in this year, August. And like I said, it would be really amazing. It would be. Avrona's Reddit account boasts a lot about him as a person, and I'll admit, he's gotten a lot better at taking criticism and advice, but some things still really stand out to me. He has, or had, a tendency to ask for advice about his channel, as the sub count for the amount of time and money that he's put in isn't that great, which honestly is fair enough. A lot of those subreddits exist to ask for input and advice, and I've used it that way myself. The problem doesn't come from him asking, it comes from his hostile response and his attitude to any kind of given advice, in saying that it's always wrong because he's doing everything right, which it just really isn't a healthy mentality to have. You can always improve on what you do. Take for example the audio of my first video compared to my more recent ones. Yeah, I'm still not perfect at all, my audio quality is still very low, but it's definitely a step up from where I began. A big part of growing in terms of your YouTube channel is accepting your faults, but thinking you're doing everything right, which is shown here by his answers to some questions about his channel, you can't improve. Especially when you don't let anyone criticize you, even when you ask for it, because what they say doesn't apply to you. And okay, yeah, a lot of these screenshots are quite old, but I've got reason to believe that he's still this way. Dude, honestly, just keep doing it because you love doing it. Don't make it into a big money investment thing. Just do you and follow your passion. Follow yourself and what you want to make. All the best YouTubers start out as a hobby, not a job. Like I said in the video, I'm completely fine if I invest a lot in it, or if I have to do not fun things for it, as I really want to do well. Like, why do you have to take such a stance against a really supportive comment? The basic interaction here is do what you want, don't make it into a big money thing, or well I want to, so there. Alone these comments might not really seem like a lot, but if someone's being so kindly as to say you probably shouldn't invest all of your money into this, and your response is, well, I don't care what you think, I don't know how you expect to grow. Another problem with him is the position that he chooses to take with his YouTube channel. He's got quite the obsession with the numbers and the statistics of his channel. Speaking of numbers, thanks for the 60 quid I would have made this year, kiss kiss to you all. So remember earlier I said about how I joined the Discord, and that's where I found him. Well, like I said, our boy was in there too. And his desire to make it big was just so obvious here. Not caring about your content just to make it big is really worrisome. Don't do something you know you don't enjoy. I'm sorry I keep putting examples about myself in here, but since I know myself better than anyone does, I feel like it's a good way to make comparison. I did different videos before I started commentating, more specifically Flash games, and I hated it. I would get up every day and hope that I didn't have to record or stream, because I didn't want to, I didn't enjoy what I did, and it felt more like a chore than anything. Whereas now I'm a lot more happy, and I think that's really what it's all about. Okay, I might not have a dedicated fan base who watches everything, but I have fun recording and editing. The problem with Avrona is he says that he will even completely fake himself for viewer retention. I thought we were over this whole fake personality things when the swarm of British vloggers started to die down. But what makes Avrona even better, in my opinion, is the way he shifts blame. Algorithm. The YouTube algorithm, a mystical force I'll never quite understand. One day you're winning, you're at the top and everyone's watching everything, and the next you're falling from grace. I don't think it's a particularly unknown fact. There is a type of bias, if you want to put it that way, in regards to the algorithm. If your videos are longer, then you're more likely to be suggested to new people. If you've got higher engagement with more comments, more thumbs up, then you're also more likely to be suggested, because YouTube sees that this is the kind of thing that people are watching and that they want to promote. You not getting views doesn't automatically mean that old Susan over in YouTube hates you and wants your head on a platter. It just means that maybe you're not performing to the plethora of other videos that they could choose from. You have to understand the sheer amount of YouTube videos that are uploaded every minute to YouTube. They physically can't promote every single one. If one's doing considerably better, they're gonna want to put their time and effort into that video. But it's not all about the algorithm, because you need the push from yourself and from your viewers first. It might be quite the tough pill to swallow, but tech videos like the ones that he's doing just don't really tend to get as far as other types of videos. It's a pretty small niche of people that care about reviewing different types of technology, and so you're not going to get that major push to outwards audiences. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. It doesn't help that he doesn't even enjoy doing tech videos, so it's just a complete waste of time. After all this, I decided it was finally time to do what I came to do, and watch his video. And I was in for quite the treat.
However, just factually speaking, having 1.3k subs on a channel that has been uploading videos for 6 years is just a really bad number. So that, many people question exactly why I haven't stopped. They think there's like some deep conspiracies about it, saying that, it's all just a sunk cost fallacy, saying that, it's all because I have mental illness or whatever, just making all these conspiracy theories up. And the truth is a lot simpler,
Now, this first bit isn't really a major criticism, it's just something that I found quite funny. His claim is that because he's still doing YouTube 6 years on, people around him make conspiracy theories about him, considering that he may be mentally unhinged. Now, I don't like to doubt people's stories much, but the only reason I struggle to believe this is, as you've said yourself, you don't have that many viewers for your sub count. People don't really know who you are. And that's really cruel to say, I know, but it's okay, people don't know who I am either. And so I really struggle to believe that people are sitting there in their rooms thinking,
oh, what mental illnesses must Avrona have for him to carry on doing this?
I really doubt you caused that much of a sensationalist headline for people in their heads.
The truth is that it simply wouldn't make sense to give up now. And that's the whole answer. I mean, I'm guessing you want me to go a bit in depth into it, but it simply wouldn't make sense. After, spending hundreds of pounds, after putting, tons of effort, tons of time into a channel, why would I want to stop?
He states that it wouldn't be a good idea for him to give up on YouTube now. And normally I'd completely agree with this. If you're having fun doing something, which he said himself that he's not having fun doing it, so this doesn't really count to him, then typically I would say carry on doing it. If it's working for you and you're having a good time, then go with it. But the thing is, if your focus is on getting big on YouTube and that's not working for you, maybe it is time for a rebrand, especially when you're not super set on your content and you're kind of juggling from topic to topic anyway. Maybe it's about time that you settled and found something that you enjoyed doing. Because clearly whatever you're currently doing isn't working and hasn't been working for the past 6 years.
Nothing about my channel says that it will never return on the investment. That YouTube doesn't make it that the channel can never grow. The channel isn't dead. It's not like it has barely any views after 12 years or whatever.
Look, buddy, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your channel is kinda dead. You've been going for 6 years, which, okay, in comparison to some YouTubers, that's not a crazy length of time, but for most, that's a long time to be carrying on with such little viewer retention. Now, normally I wouldn't have any faults in this, but you can't say your channel isn't dead when you haven't broken past the 2k subscriber mark. You've been going for 6 years and you can't break over 200 views on your videos. And okay, that's extremely hypocritical of me to say. I mean, I haven't even got past 100 and I certainly can't get 100 views on my videos. But the difference is I haven't been going for 6 years and complaining about where I'm standing.
All channels are capable of growth, at least in theory, and then it's up to, the creator and the algorithm to really take things from there. And, the algorithm has, as you've probably seen, hasn't been really kind to my channel.
And here we go at my favourite part of the whole video, where he says that the algorithm hasn't been kind to his channel. I'd like to go back really quickly to less than a minute ago, where he said that a video's success is based on 2 things.
Then it's up to, the creator and the algorithm to really take things from there.
The first being the algorithm, but the second being the creator. You should really take your word of advice here. It's not just the algorithm. You can't always push the blame on old Susan at YouTube because it's on you as well. If your video isn't interesting and people don't watch it, then you're not going to be promoted. Now, this point was just seemingly a pretty passing comment, but I found it quite interesting. I don't want to make this video into a crazily long thing as I've done in the past, so I'm just going to sum it up by speaking about my thoughts on it all. Overall, I just think that you really need to find your focus. It's pretty clear you're kind of a bit all over the place in what you want to create. You're jumping between things like Pokemon cards and technology reviews. You really can't expect people to stay for the long run if your content is constantly changing. Take some of the bigger YouTubers. Whilst their content's changed over time, it's not become so obscurely different that people can't tell what it is and who it is that's creating it. But the problem is there's such a distinguished difference between what you've been making that it's just not the same content anymore. Maybe I can't really speak on things because my content's a bit all over the place at a lot of times, but I'm still allowed to give my opinion and I'm going to do that. This is going to turn into just another one of my angry British rants, I can feel it. In terms of actually fixing your channel though, I really don't know what to recommend. You've got so much help at your disposal. People have offered to make videos for you showing how to help you, and you point blank don't listen to what people say to help you, and I don't know what you expect, quite honestly. I think if anything, you need a rebrand or just a complete reboot. Anyway, I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be. It's not that serious of a topic. I did want to quickly talk about my own channel though, and a few key points surrounding it. I'm not a particularly funny person, so I can't really fit into the niche of the current trend of British commentary channels. I think I'm more suited for a documentary style with the occasional opinion scattered in there. But I'd love some feedback on what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, that kind of thing. I'm happy to make changes if it will improve things so long as it stays within the realms of my capabilities. I'm not going to carry on for much longer, I don't need another hour-long video on my hands. Regardless, thank you for watching. Bye!